There are fan moments that last only a few seconds. A handshake, a quick hug, a few words exchanged between an artist and someone who has supported them from afar. But sometimes those few seconds carry a story much bigger than the moment itself. And that is exactly what happened during SB19's Yokohama appearance in Japan. One fan went into the experience hoping to meet the group, make memories, and finally see SB19 up close. But she walked away with something far more meaningful. She got a moment with Stell that she says she still cannot get over. And behind that emotional encounter was a story about someone who wasn't even there anymore, but whose love for SB19 was still very much present, her Lola Nana. And this is where the story becomes much more than just another fan interaction. The fan, Stefanie Akashi, shared her experience following the SB19 event in Yokohama. She described being able to hug Stell and shake hands with the members, something that already felt incredibly special. For any Aten, getting that kind of close interaction with SB19 would be unforgettable. But according to Stefanie, the moment with Stell became especially emotional because she had something deeply personal to tell the group. Her grandmother, whom she lovingly called Lola Nana, had been a huge SB19 fan. Sadly, Lola Nana passed away the previous year, but even though she was no longer there to experience the group's growing success, her love for SB19 remained an important part of Stefanie's memories. And during this encounter, Stefanie had the opportunity to tell the members just how much her grandmother loved them.
And over here, I was just telling Stell about my Lola Nana because she passed away last year, but she was their biggest fan, and so he just gave me the biggest hug. Oh my god, he was so sweet and making sure I was okay. Wouldn't let go of my hand. Oh my god, I cannot.
Imagine carrying that story with you. Imagine finally standing in front of the artists your loved one admired so much, and knowing that you now have the chance to tell them about her. For Stefanie, this wasn't simply a fan meeting. It was almost like carrying a little piece of Lola Nana with her. And then came Stell. According to Stefanie's own account, Stell didn't simply acknowledge what she was saying and move on. She described him as being incredibly sweet and supportive during that emotional moment. She said he made sure she was okay and even held onto her hand. That small gesture apparently meant everything to her. Because sometimes when someone is emotional, there isn't really a perfect thing to say. Sometimes just staying there is enough, and that is what made the encounter so powerful. A hug from Stell, a reassuring gesture, a few precious seconds where Stefanie could talk about someone she loved dearly. Those moments may look simple from the outside, but for the person experiencing them, they can become memories that last forever. And Stefanie wasn't only emotional because of her Lola Nana. She also talked about another unexpected part of the experience involving Ken and Kenzo. Kenzo, who was also connected to the event, happened to interact with the SB19 members.
And over here, like, Kenzo, which is crazy because that's Kenzo's bias, and also Kenzo was also on the stage earlier for their game. So they started like talking, and of course, like Kenzo told him that like he has like a cover of the song "Toy Friend," and then Ken was like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna go check it out." Oh my god, he was so sweet. Oh my god, I am manifesting that my bestie Kenzo.
And there was an especially interesting moment because Kenzo is known to be a fan of Ken. Stefanie explained that the interaction became even more exciting when Kenzo mentioned that he had a cover of SB19's song, Toy Friend. Ken reportedly said he would check it out. For Stefanie, that was another unexpectedly sweet moment. She even expressed hope that her friend Kenzo could eventually collaborate with SB19. And that is what made the entire experience feel so special. There were the personal emotions surrounding Lola Nana. There was Stell's comforting response. There were handshakes and hugs. And then there was this unexpected connection between Ken, Kenzo, and SB19. But perhaps the most touching part of Stefanie's story came when she reflected on the people who could not be there with them. She talked about how, during the fan experience, conversations turned toward people who were missed, people who might have wanted to be there but couldn't. And that brings us back to Lola Nana, because while she couldn't physically be in Yokohama, her presence was still felt through Stefanie. Her granddaughter was there. She remembered her. She talked about her, and she made sure that SB19 knew just how much Lola Nana loved them. In a strange and beautiful way, Lola Nana's connection to SB19 continued through that moment, and perhaps that is one of the most beautiful things about music. Artists can become part of people's lives without ever meeting them personally. A song can become connected to a memory. A performance can become something a family watches together. And an artist can become part of someone's story long before they ever know that person's name. For Lola Nana, SB19 apparently became that kind of special memory. And for Stefanie, meeting the group became an opportunity to honor that memory. That's why the hug from Stell meant so much. It wasn't just a hug from an artist. For her, it became part of a story she could carry forward. A story about her grandmother, a story about love, a story about music, and a story about how one unforgettable day in Yokohama brought all of those things together. There is also something worth appreciating about SB19 in moments like this. Their relationship with fans isn't always about huge stages, awards, or viral performances. Sometimes it is about what happens in the few seconds between the spotlight and the person standing in front of them. A fan says something personal, an artist listens, and suddenly that interaction becomes a memory that neither person may ever forget. For Stefanie, the Yokohama experience gave her exactly that. She went there as an SB19 fan. She left with a story about Stell's kindness, memories of the members, an unexpected Ken and Kenzo moment, and most importantly, a memory connected to her Lola Nana. And perhaps somewhere in all of this is the real reason these fan moments matter. Because behind every person in the crowd is a story. Some fans are celebrating, some are healing, some are remembering someone, and some are simply hoping for one small moment they can take home with them. Stefanie got hers, a hug from Stell, a few handshakes, a chance to tell SB19 about a grandmother who loved them, and a memory from Yokohama that she clearly doesn't want to let go of. Lola Nana may not have been physically present that day, but through her granddaughter's words, her love for SB19 was. And sometimes, that is more than enough. Because the most unforgettable fan moments aren't always the loudest ones. Sometimes they're the quiet moments where an artist simply listens, holds a hand, and makes someone feel that their story matters. And for Stefanie, that is exactly what this SB19 encounter became.